Where do the UFC's two biggest stars go from here? After Ilia Topuria got completely battered by the Goy himself, Justin Gaethje. And after Alex Pereira ate the nastiest jab I've ever seen from Cyril Gane, dropped like a fly, and took 12 back of the head shots like a fly would with a fly swatter. Where on earth does he go from here? My name is Jake Breaks MMA, and that's what we're going to discuss today. Where on earth do Alex Pereira and Ilia Topuria go from here? The two biggest UFC superstars in the company, both losing on the biggest stage. Let's start with Ilia Topuria. This is a nightmare scenario for Ilia Topuria. He did not look like how he was looking against Max, against Volk, against Charles, against basically everyone else in his entire career. A lot of people are saying it could just be his confidence. He could have been too cocky. And to a certain degree, I do agree with that. But I think there's much more to this than just his cockiness and his overconfidence. Volkanovski literally just got chinned 2 months ago. I'm not saying that as if he wouldn't have gotten chinned anyways. He still would have gotten chinned. But Volk is chinny. He can be chinned. That's my point. He's a great outside fighter. But he does not have any power. When was the last time he dropped somebody? It's been a long time. I guess he kind of dropped Diego Lopez. Anyways, Max Holloway. An amazing striker, very quick hands, no power at 145. No power there. And then you go to Charles Oliveira. He does have some power. Mostly a grappler. Very bad striking fundamentals. That's the main thing. Very bad striking fundamentals, primarily grappler. What is Justin Gaethje compared to these three? He is a completely different matchup and a much harder matchup as well. Justin Gaethje has power. He hits like a truck, and I know he doesn't knock people out, but he damages the fuck out of people's faces. Like Paddy Pimblett and now Ilia Topuria, man. It's crazy that I'm even saying that. But he does a ton of damage. His jab was on the money. He was only throwing when Ilia Topuria was coming at him, and he would just stick that jab out, make sure he didn't invade him. That uppercut, absolute money. That right hand ended up being money as well. Pulling his guard down, whipping with that right hand. He had the ability to actually punish Ilia Topuria for his mistakes, his defensive mistakes. Ilia Topuria does not have a lot of head movement. That ultimately led to his demise. But the main point of this video is to talk about where does he go from here? Ilia Topuria should definitely take off at least a year. I think he broke both of his orbital bones. I think he also broke a rib as well. That knee to the body was absolutely fucking nasty. Fucking Gaethje, man. I just can't believe Gaethje had that in him. But Ilia Topuria needs to take time off. And to be honest, he's not going to get an easy matchup when he comes back. And that's going to be a very big issue. I still think he can beat Arman. I really do. I really do think he can still beat Arman. But I don't think that matchup's going to happen. I think it's going to be the winner of BSD versus Paddy Pimblett. Obviously, we're hoping and praying that it's Paddy Pimblett, man. But I think this fight gives a really good opportunity for Ilia to bounce back. As we can tell, his grappling has always been pretty solid. He was able to basically do whatever he wanted with Gaethje on the ground. Obviously, he didn't submit him. But he's very good on the ground. You can tell. People don't really just do that to Gaethje. Paddy Pimblett couldn't do shit to Gaethje on the ground. So to see that from Ilia, it is an encouraging sign. I would pick him to beat whoever is the winner of BSD versus Paddy. I think he would probably knock out. I honestly don't know at this point, though. His knockout power just disappeared. Literally just disappeared last fight. Is that Cope? Anyways, I do think he would beat BSD or Paddy Pimblett, though. I don't think Paddy Pimblett can get the takedown down. Takedown down? That sounded weird. I don't think he can get the takedown, and that's going to leave the fight standing. And we know how Paddy Pimblett is when he is backed up against the cage. That chin is uppity, man. Moonwalking all over the money, as they say. But, man, it's just... yeah, it's rough for Ilia Topuria, man. He's just going to need to take that time off and then face the winner of BSD versus Paddy. But so much of his aura was fucking lost. Not even going to lie. Now let's move on to Alex Pereira. Chama. Alex Pereira had the chance to become a 3-division world champion for the first time in UFC history. And we all saw how that ended up playing out. He got absolutely fucking smoked by Cyril Gane. But you can tell from the start, Cyril Gane's jab was on the fucking money, and it was connecting with Pereira's face every single time it was thrown. And that was going to dictate the fight in the end. Alex Pereira had no success against Cyril Gane outside of a few low inside leg kicks and one pole counter right hand, which is kind of crazy to say because no one would have expected that. I thought it was going to be a competitive fight. I thought it was going to go farther in the distance. I did think Pereira was going to win. But Cyril Gane's jab was on the fucking money, and that was what was going to change the fight. And yes, he did take a few back of the head shots. I know. But where does Pereira go from here? I see him on Twitter saying he wants to come back in September. Bro, you just got fucking chinned. That's like 3 months. You need to take at least 6 months off. Take some time off. And then I have the perfect fight for you. That you are going to fucking win at heavyweight and get yourself another title shot. It's Alexander Volkov, dude. And I know Volkov is a great fighter. He arguably beat Gane in that last fight. Honestly, he did. And he deserves a big opportunity like this. And I think he would be okay waiting a little bit longer for Pereira to heal up and take that mega fight for him, dude. Volkov, you deserve this mega fight, although you are going to lose. So I am sorry about that. I just don't see Volkov having the power that Cyril Gane has in that jab, in those hands, in those kicks. So I think Pereira's going to be able to tank those a lot easier than that jab that landed on him. Because that jab was hitting every single time, like I've been saying the entire video. So I just think Pereira's going to be able to kind of bull rush through that a little bit, move his head. Volkov looked a lot slower in his last fight too, not to mention. But I think Pereira's going to be able to land a nice left hook, or he can land a nice right hand. There's multiple options for Pereira, as we know. But I do think that would be a great win for him at heavyweight, and it'll really add to his legacy, too, because Volkov has always been the #1 contender in this division for the past, 3 or 4 years now? So him getting a win like this would be huge for his career. And I see people throwing around the Josh Hogan matchup. Dude, no. Don't take it, Pereira. Don't fucking take it. I'm not saying Hogan's better than Volkov or anything like that. I just think it's a little bit more tricky, maybe, stylistically for Pereira. I just think Hogan is a bit more dynamic than Volkov. He has extremely fast hands. I think he can really clip Pereira with the 1-2, his jab, his right hand, once he feels comfortable throwing it. I know this isn't a Derek Lewis or anything like that, but his hands have already looked exceptionally fast against everyone he's faced. And not to mention, there is a wrestling takedown there, takedown threat. I don't think he'll land a takedown on Pereira, but it does count for something. It does put that thought in Pereira's mind. And that can lower his hands a little bit, and that can lead to Hogan landing. I just think the finishing potential with Hogan is much higher than it is with Hogan compared to Volkov. But I don't know, man. It's really hard to say. Perry could go back down to light heavyweight and try to face Carlos Ulberg. I don't really know how realistic that is at this point. He weighed in at 251. Dude, fat ass, by the way. Holy shit. If you're actually cutting weight and you cut down to 251, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding. But Carlos Ulberg versus Pereira would be a really interesting matchup. I don't think Pereira would win at this point just because he moved up to heavyweight pretty hard. He's 251. That's a 45-pound cut, dude. His chin's not going to be there. Ulberg's fast. Ulberg has leg kicks. He has a lot of weapons. So I just don't really see that being a possibility at this point. But yeah, that's what I think Alex Pereira and Ilia Topuria should do with their careers at this point. Don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see what happens. I hope they can both bounce back and take a dub. But if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, watch the video in full. I appreciate you guys watching. It's Jake Breaks MMA. Peace.